Right into the pistol, folks. Let's see it. Faze Clan on the T side. coldzera into the cutout. He's got support here in middle. He would have more if Poison wasn't smoked off, but maybe he needs no help. Maybe he's got it all himself. At least the first 3 kills. Poison regains vision. Olaf's like, guys, hello?
Don't tell me Complexity are going to win this map. Okay, let me call back. Remember when Complexity haven't played this map recently, but remember when it got picked against them?
Yes.
And Config was on the team, and FlameF and Config did bully bros, ran down mid and killed NIP outside of B over and over again, even though NIP had picked the map into them because they didn't have playtime on it.
It was like 13-2 or something.
It was so fun to watch. They don't have the config, but they still got coldzera in middle, and I know they're going to try that play because it worked so damn well before. This is beautiful control of just every single peak here for coldzera, looking very sharp with it.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's actually one thing, just as a small mechanical thing. And people talk about peeker's advantage and coming into angles and stuff like that. By the way, there's also peeker's advantage on land because the player who is holding is obviously going to be less reactive, is going to have a lower reaction time than the player peeking. But how you can counteract that in CT positions is just by kind of shoulder peeking, swinging a little bit as well, so you look just as fast to them as they do to you.
Giving it the jiggle. A little foreshadowing, man. BlameF did just run into...
Yeah, the route down mid. Did he?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. He ran into caves.
So this time they'll give mid open, and of course, man, it's been so long we actually casted Ancient. So we got Donut Control here from coldzera, and he was just in pocket at mid in that previous round. Rain is honestly really sick at both dealing with this, dealing with cave here. Actually, I like Faze's call out, which is calling it Maze.
Maze, yes.
Watching the comms videos, by the way. Shout out to Kerrigan's YouTube video. You should go and check those out.
Oh, coldzera, you're nasty. He lets 2 guys cross, attacks the back, snaps over towards Brokey, but he's not able to finish it all off. Rain and Brokey in the 2v3. Esatag is pushed up into Cheetah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, unexpected position for Rain to deal with. Maybe Brokey can pull off the miracle. But he's got a player already deep on site, so I like this. Little smoke, little misdirection. Brokey trying to work his magic.
Brokey's just that 1 star far away in the universe in a sea of darkness.
We are not alone. But Brokey is.
Yes, it's on the ground.
Never had a chance, man.
That's a win.
JKS was close enough to hear the audible bomb plant. Sprint into this. This is nice. I like this.
This is timing 0 right here.
Almost snapped it over to the 3rd. That would have been like the 10 on 10. Instead, it's the 8 on 10.
Yeah.
But it's actually an eco, so it's a 6 on 10. It's also 2-0.
Okay. Lots of oh wow, so many wow, that's a lot of numbers. I still don't have my grenade or my gun drop to teammate bind.
No, we're not allowed.
It's too many binds. I need to.
You mean like
do it, though.
Yeah? You mean to like buy for them?
Yes.
No.
I need to do that. Because there's a thing where if you press G sometimes, it just falls on the floor, and then you have to pick it up.
Doesn't matter.
And then throw it again.
We're Counter-Strike players.
I'm gonna do it. And will Complexity do this?
Well, it depends on if they run into Brokey, right? He has that solo AK. This is what we're talking about, okay? Oh, well, it's not supposed to go like that. BlameF, the aggression through the maze, it's meant to stun them. Instead, he gets stunted by the up-close and personal Raindeeg.
It's a big risk. I just did a video on, is BlameF evolving? Because he pointed out his own stats that he's been going for a lot more opening kills. At least he was at EPL.
Okay.
And he did, definitely. But that's an interesting spot where on T side, not as much, but here on the CT side, getting a lot of attempts. All right, looks like that plant is going to be...
Oh, no. Wow. That's not supposed... Oh, but it's taken right back. Brokey pushing in aggressively to the back of the temple, deals with that. Nice spray by JKS to get that fadeaway shot onto the bomb planter. Looked like he had Faze Clan by the neck. Maybe Kerrigan can finish it off. Missed some deagle shots, but will recover. Able to get the better of Poison. Esatag into the 1 versus 3, and he looks to redirect after clearing out temples. Now, this is the right play in my mind.
They're looking for... Oh, exactly. They clear it. As soon as they clear it, though, yeah, he's out, and then I think he's just turning this into a save.
Run away.
Yeah, this is an AUG to save, which is huge. You know, back in the day, 1v2s, even if it was very unlike, oh, you wouldn't go for him normally. So nice from Brokey. He just calls that out. You know that spot?
Either.
I made a video called "This Spot Is Not Called Brokey" because he got that 1v4 online in the online match right before EPL, I believe, from that position in the corner right outside of the temple.
Yes, sir.
And he said his team calls it Brokey too.
Oh.
And he said it gets very confusing for him when they call it Brokey and he exists on the team. But I'm sure it was the same for Olaf Meister when they were calling Olaf Meister on train. Or Cobble.
Or NBK on cash.
NBK on cash. But Rain has found, on the CD side especially, he's found a lot of openings and gaps and little things about the cave and fighting it, defending it, that are really great. We'll look for those angles in the future.
Yeah, the more sample size we get, the larger sample size we get on Ancient, the better in my mind.
Look at this.
What is this?
Yeah, he's just workshopping. I mean, what can you even pop? No way.
Stop that.
Can you even see something there?
I don't know. He's just trying to...
I need glasses.
Yeah, I got to stand closer to the monitor. You know, Rain's like half an inch from his screen.
If you don't have a 10 on your nose, you're not gaming hard enough.
Smoke grenades over the site. This is going to block off the 1B player in S-Tag. Oh, he gets tagged up through it as well. But he still stands. That was Olaf taking some grenade damage. They're very wary of this deep smoke. I think very nice conditioning or very nice like utility usage from Faze on top mid this round.
Yeah.
They came out middle the moment their initial smoke was fading, and there was a player who pushed up very aggressively to try and take that space. They saw it was for free, and then when they shifted to the B site, they went, as you saw with that deeper smoke, really, I think, kind of drew complexity to staring at basically nothing. They were afraid of the boogeyman.
A lot of this game plan's leaning to the right side of the map around Cape early on and taking B control, and that's a good idea, it looks like, for Faze. It's complexity it's not their one note on it, but they're not combining with the efforts in mid to take over and at least refrag, like if Rain wants to push up there. So right now, I think he's got like a fear aura over them. You know, all he has to do is smoke it, and then I think he's comfortable lurking around and making sure no one pushes. So if complexity can't do that, how heavy is that drink, by the way? If complexity can't do that, then what are they going to try if they can't get control over there? They're going to be comfortable.
All right. All right. Ooh, dangerous. Dangerous game to go crossing into cutout like that. Cold Zera can't quite manage versus Kerrigan. So we've got the 5v4 early on. Faze not really afraid of fighting in mid these last couple of rounds. Maybe knowing that they have the weapon advantage kind of bolsters the confidence, as it should be. Brokey's going to catch S-Tag, the base of ramp, if he continues on. A little bit of a game of chicken here. S-Tag now posted, but damn it, Brokey.
Sharp.
Give the man a chance. He's going to go sprinting forward into the depths of the site. You guys head to Sponge's Twitter at the moment. I saw that he was getting nerdy on Ancient. Yeah, those guys play a lot of CS. And beautiful Molotov executes coming out of the boys. I saw Dinko and Rush and Chad in the server.
Fair play to them. They had the executes before the map was even in the pool.
100%, man. Yeah, we were running that back in the Scrimtings.
Scrimtings. Asu, post Scrimtings. Oh, you said you wouldn't unpin it from your Twitter, by the way. Don't turn your back on CS, Asu. We are watching.
We always will be. Don't you forget where you came from. Rise Nation. Back when NA had a chance.
84 years ago. So far, so clean here from Faze. Like that entry from Brokey as well. He flashes for himself, but he's also combined with a deep flash from his teammate, so they had no choice but to look at that. If they anteed both,
would you look at that?
They'd be cheating.
Just look at it. Limited buy here on the table for complexity. Just going to say it.
You know, CT side can be so oppressive that it's just hard to find opening options on the T side. One thing I noticed, I was watching Art on T side to see what he was thinking about, because I've always regarded Fury as a very innovative team with new maps and stuff. And he's been running. He was just running out mid almost every single round, despite eating a lot of grenades. And I think the way it's looked at is because the map can be so CT-sided sometimes. Why not take some damage, look for an opening if you can, just to get that 50-50 duel and win some control back early on.
Nice flash.
Oh, this also stops a push down the ramp. You can see the CTs are so desperate for some map control somewhere.
Yeah, and this was actually prevented by Rain. So as much as the CTs want it, you saw how desperate, or not even desperate, but how adamant Rain was at stopping that deep aggression, because he ran through a Molotov, took 70 damage nearly, all for the sake of throwing his own piece of utility, which did hinder Blame F from being able to come out and charge forward. So instead, Blame's going to remain tucked inside Cheetah.
Rain is a tank right now.
Yeah, but
they want this control over towards B so badly. He just won't give it up.
it's a tank with broken armor. Oh, we talked about Brokey's flash, but that one was even better. Now they're going to go aggressively out from the A site, and oh no, Olaf taking everybody's head, including his own teammate. But he's put himself into the 1v2. This would be a big old Olaf clutch. Oh, he's found the timing. If he just clears left, then he's got himself an open A route, but he doesn't check it. However, he is now back-to-back with JKS. Anything is possible at this point.
Look at them working together to clear out all these angles. It's just beautiful. If only they could communicate.
Oh, we're getting weird. We're getting freaky.
And that's a plant. They're not going to be ready for this. This timing works out, even though Olaf doesn't realize the opportunity that has just been missed. That sword cuts both ways.
Now it's a matter of winning this duel versus Blame. If Blame oversteps his stay, then Olaf's got him. Oh, but Blame F ready for the fight inside of the maze. And that is Complexity's third round win.
You know, I was thinking, like, he thought he had the timing on the rotation in. So I was like, not sure if you would clear the flank, but he could have wrapped around as well in the temple. Nice round here from both Coldzera as well as the site hold.
Yes.
So much damage done off this, even though Olaf kills his own teammate.
Get out of my way.
There was hella damage there done by Poison.
This is nuts.
Oh, that's crazy.
This is actually one of the reasons I enjoy Ancient, is because it has like an element of vertigo. So on vertigo, you have to walk a lot because of the overtop, the layered, the vertically layered sound
you can say verticality.
Yeah,
I know you just said vertigo. That's
fine. And in this map, it's a lot more just because of the side-by-side tunnels and passageways. Similar situation, but different plane of existence.
This is much better already for the CTs to get some damage off, not commit a player, because so far the player that they've been... What is this? The player that they've been committing every single time has died.
Oh, got a second player in the corner.
Yeah, this is an interesting look.
Yeah, Esatag not turning from the flash because he knows that Blame can bolster the hold. Oh, Kerrigan. He throws that flash in. This is a big fight. Battle of the IGLs, and Blame's bigger. Man advantage established here for Complexity. And the fire is going to force him backwards, but Coldzera and Poison getting aggressive inside of mid to take a man away and to force what's left of Faze into the B site. They've got two players already in the depths of this. JKS, that first line of defense, and as he gets flashed, that actually plays out well for him. He tucks and catches Twists off guard. Brokey able to kill one, but at what cost? He was dropped to 3 HP as Complexity will lead 4-3.
I think, early on, FaZe have presented them this Rubik's Cube, and I don't think Complexity have the reps on the map to be able to know what the algorithm is to fix it, but now they're starting to piece it together live, and just like on Nuke, it feels like they're answering some of their problems as the map goes on. It's looking very promising already. The early nade damage on CT side, which is exactly what you should do, as much, oppressive free damage as you can, while the Ts don't have an advantage in the early round, and this double setup inside of the cave that they just used also worked very well as a different look.
Damn, okay.
That's a quick opening kill as well. That's blessed because now you can do plays like this and keep it fresh for the next round.
Flame in the fire.
He got touched
by the hand of God.
You just did like a cobra arm in real life.
Yeah, I forget sometimes that people can't see me.
That was funny. No, it helps with the speaking actually. Oh man, this is... I'd be so scared to hold an angle like this just because of the weird elevation changes. But I think he's got it.
He doesn't shoot. Oh my my God, he didn't shoot.
It was just comfort. I think he must have looked at radar there for a second.
Had to be.
But
We've all been there. Just not quite on this stage.
oh,
Poison though.
big one.
Let's see if he can be on the recovery because this is looking good. Oh, he sees him. He sees him, but he can't get him off of the bomb plant. So it does go down regardless. And that's a huge moment for Olaf because if you check out his teammates' HP, Olaf is going to have to be the playmaker, you'd think. And he's deciding to come back at this. Gonna cost him. Poison so prepared to drop him. 8 health for the 1v3 attempt on Brokey. And he may have bested Blame early, but Blame F did substantial damage to really prime his teammates to take this 5-3 lead. And as that bomb gets defused, Poison able to stick this, covered by JKS. That's a clean commitment and a successful round for Cole.
You could say, why would Olaf come back? But I think it's been agreed upon now that when you're in the post plant in this situation, if you don't have the backlines control behind the site, you do have to push forward because it's so easy to flank on this map. It's another map just like it's another site, excuse me, just like the A site where you can have so many flanks and quick rotations come in that so many retakes are possible, and it encourages you to be aggressive when you get the bomb down over on the B site, which I think is great, but it creates for moments like that. Ooh.
Cold Zera this time. Now he's coming at it from top mid. Oh, that's the solo AK. Second time we've seen Brokey tasked with the raid boss AK play. They've got the execute to try and stampede into B, but Essa tag not hard cleared by Twist. Now he's got this like awkward space behind the smokes to try and play with. Teammates inbound, trying to keep their opponents at bay. And don't forget that AK is still in play.
And see how they both try to connect to take over the back of the B, so now they can play a bit more passively if they want to, at least then they know they can fall back. Well, they don't have a rifle advantage, however. Kerrigan tucked in an awkward position, does some damage, but doesn't get the kill.
But Brokey's been hot, gets shut down, was 13 and 5 at that one. Olaf, it's his turn to try and finish this clutch, but Poison from the same position comes in with impact on the retake. All things considered, not a bad round from Faze. So many people playing with pistols, but it's not quite enough, and they're still now at the 3-round count.
Yeah, Brokey doesn't have a lot of help right now. He's pretty much hitting everything, first bulleting everybody, but yeah, it's a tough map on T-side, no question. So I don't think this is necessarily the worst situation in the world for Faze, and they already got three rounds. I think Complexity just want to keep this, 2-1 on CT side, and they'll feel pretty good. But Faze keeping this very competitive still.
Oh, nice flash.
Ooh, we get spotted. Oh, he almost adjusts for that.
For a second, I thought Olaf was getting robbed.
Well, they find the tactic to deny that push. So they found the exact moment to pull that off, and that worked. And it looks like they're going to refresh the play, which is always a cute thing to do. But the T's still have kind of an advantage with the split route towards the site. So it's going to be hard for them to move up, and Poison's got to take a risk by opening himself up. Oh, wow. That was a crazy moment of timing.
Aggro down on B.
Another punish on long B.
Busted by Brokey. Not so easy tag.
And they get through the A site. Now, they can go and flank if they like to. Poison will come back towards the middle, but JKS isn't convinced about whether or not... Or, sorry, not JKS. Blame F isn't convinced about whether or not it'll be the B site. But it's about to be.
And it is wide open for the taking. Not to mention, if Blame dies here, then they've got all the rotators locked down. Kerrigan will be caught hopping. See if Blame can sprint back. Yeah, already considering it.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they did this.
That they just gave up B?
I mean, they pushed through A, but they didn't respond by rotating at all. They just kind of froze in place and like, all right, well, hopefully they come A, I guess. But, that seems so unlikely, especially right after they left totally. So maybe if they committed through with the full flank, they would have had the info, then the Kerrigan killed, then they can make a hold go down on the B side. But that made so much sense for Faze to go B in that spot, and not really any response from Complexity.
One of the things I do enjoy about Ancient that I think we're getting an example of so far is like the ability to clash in so many different spots at a spawn. We've seen it obviously with caves, pushing Cheetah into the upper B. This last round was the first example of it happening over on the A site, right? And over in A main, we don't always get those kinds of initial impacts. And if nobody's there to hold back that push from JKS, then I think what we're going to get, like we saw at the end of this, right, with the carving out of the A info and lack of B rotate, is B would have been stacked.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
it's just fun. You never know where the fight's going to be, and if you happen to charge the right place in the right round, then you can get away with a lot of info.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that was partly Art's philosophy as well. Is like, if I run through nades at mid, like even though this T-side's hard, I will get a fight. And if I even get 5 rounds in the half, I'm feeling pretty decent with it. And if they don't go mid, I got way too much info for them to deal with.
Good smoke in the corner to put out the fire and allow for a little bit of a jiggle. Kerrigan doesn't see any CTs trying to push down onto their end of this. So he knows that they're still posturing back.
A is not the best site to go to right now, the amount of players out here.
Now we'll head JKS inside site. Cold, Zera moving back.
Oh, they've got to rotate out, actually.
Poison playing in Donut. If you get swarmed, then suddenly you do not want to be JKS, but he doesn't get mollied. They call out the wrong position. He could line up so many bodies on this spray. This is going to be a big chance for JKS to be a massive landmine. Utility's still all around him, and he tries to time his peak perfectly. We had a bunch of players flash, 2 of which are boosted, but it's only 1 kill. Poison getting closer to the bomb site, able to turn back onto Kerrigan and at least lock off this part of the map. It's going to cause for a desperate situation. We know how hard it is to plant.
Pressure's on Cold.
Poison able to stop it, but the bomb is still planted. Esatag in with 1, and it falls onto Twist in the 1 versus 3. He's able to fall away from Temple, tries to cut that MP9 off from CT spawn. Blame F, unknown position to Twist, but there it is! The tap from Twist! Killer instinct!
That's breathtaking. That's mind-numbing. End on head. I can only imagine what kind of compliments Kerrigan has for him after that clutch. I don't think Twist was on the board until he did this.
He's got 5 kills.
5 kills
just
now.
Barely.
He just got 1 the last round. That's insane.
Superb rifle work from the magnificent Van Dulken. Aggressive A play from Complexity. We can see, of course, ill-equipped in this one. Just measly P250s. Soon to be the lesser $300 pistol.
True. Why get 1 when you can get 2?
It's just math. But look at this. Prioritizing plant on B. Esatag's gonna get... Oh, Brokey. This is like...
Imagine getting shoulder peeked and spawn.
Oh, my God.
And then someone actually is there.
We call that position slug.
Just sweat, yeah, slug.
Because you've got to be one to sit
slime.
that deep in the water.
You gotta sleep with one eye open. You got a guilty conscience if you're holding angles like that.
Are leeches slugs?
Well, I don't want to get into this because I have no... Like, are they the same genus or something?
Yeah.
Phylum?
Phylum.
I have no idea. I mean, slugs have like long eyes or something, right?
That's kind of... Snails do.
Oh, it's snails,
Are
right?
snails just slugs with shells?
I can't get into this. I would love to. I just wish I had some kind of foundational understanding of what...
Are crabs and shells also slugs?
I gotta go.
Wow, there's a timeout, so we have more time to talk
Damn
about
it.
this.
Cornered me now.
Corn dog. Okay, eco round from Complexity, obviously a little bit desperate. Dude, in that case, let's just, for a second, really just run it back for 1 round. Not only does Twist tap into the heads of 2 for the 1v3 clutch, but then that also gets this additional round win because of the fact that they had no economy. Twists with 5 kills, 7 deaths, which... Honestly, when I say that out loud, makes him feel like he's the bottom fragger, but he's actually tied with Kerrigan for the 2nd most amount of kills after Brokey.
Right.
So this is the Brokey show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, impact comes in many different forms, and that 1 round is worth so much. Mentally, it's worth so much. You know, the energy just comes way up. You win a clutch like that, that has to be...
Yeah, you saw
that
it
has to be recognized. Yeah, and Faze kind of all about that energy. So, you know, you can see it. I think also Twist, you know, he needs to be feel that he can get into the game, and he was having a really, really strugglesome game before this. So They failed to put out a Molotov here. So much action. You can actually run because of the amount of nades that are going off on both sides. But it looks like there might not be any way out. They have to smoke their way back into the site. coldzera gets a lurk frag inside a maze. Smoke will go down. Maybe they can establish now 4-4, but they give up a fair bit of control. And the T's are everywhere.
Man, that was bedlam. An absolute clash down on the B site. Off of the pause as well, right? That's the El Clasico. Take a timeout, make everybody think it's a big brain play, then pump those muscles and go sprinting at them. But I do like that we then get this second flavor.
This is, yeah. As we cross a minute and options are still open, it's the CTs who I think are a bit more constricted, right? They want to see an execute come because they don't have mid control. And the longer they don't have mid control, the more they think and get paranoid that lurks can happen to them. And then they'll start second guessing their spots, which are actually fine right now. Poison, however, has pushed towards A all the way down. And it seems like they're fine just gambling that Faze will come back. But Kerrigan is pretty wise to this, and it looks like he might avoid the issue. However, we've got some counterplay with Poison actually looking to flank mid potentially. I think he might have heard something, however.
Yeah, but flanking mid, I think, would like just really leave, you know, that's then A is over.
No rotations at all. Pure gamble here from Complexity.
God. Poison's gonna have to do everything.
That's too much. That's
and
too
it's
much.
not even one of those moments where stopping the bomb plant's gonna be enough. He needs to do more. As much as he possibly can. And how about that? 3 kills in from Poison. Complexity with a robbery, and he knew it. He could feel it coming. Poison doubles back.
Don't ever tell me this guy can only up.
What a venomous play from Poison.
Yeah, he got the fangs all the way in there. That was a disgusting spray. And I thought, you know, the CT angle from Donut towards Long is even better than that one. It's like really, really strong. And in that spot, the advantage he had was they didn't expect him to push, but they actually tactically were, you know, so far behind Faze in that round, thinking-wise. But they can rely on him for that X-Factor spray down. Really, I think Complexity just don't feel comfortable at all rotating if they just don't have control of this. That's been their one tick, I feel like, that Faze are very aware of.
Playing with so much responsibility, playing this far forward on his own. Anybody lurking outside of the B site could have just killed Blame, and he knew it. But it's all in from Faze on mid. Real pack mentality from the clan in this 14th round. They're going to use Kerrigan as the front runner. He'll go feel out Red Room. But he gets smoked off just as he gets into position to try and challenge CT spawn. And he's not alone, in fact. Not even close. He's got 2 more players next to him, and this could be the 3 players flanking CT into an A split. I think this is also going to hinge on the success of the A main entries.
They're so aware of it.
Blame's starting to consider that they may go elsewhere, but there's that trade frag. However, down goes the CT hold. JKS with 2. He shut down all of A main on his own. Again, the impact from behind that triple stack. JKS elsewhere while we watch the CT fight really cooled off that play.
Definitely. And all the while as well, you know, he's got 2 teammates dealing with that mid press. He's getting info here. He can feel the A split coming. Beautiful rifle work from him. And like, there's literally 4 players leaning towards A in this situation. So Faze, they got netted into thinking this was a good exec because they had that deep mid control, but obviously wasn't the right play. And that could be a defining moment in this game, considering we've got Faze back on this mixed buy. A 4-up in the last round.
That's damage. Esatag full blind. Twists will manage to find that kill. coldzera on the hot rotate, trying to get into the mix as fast as possible, but down goes Blame F. So now Cold, he's tasked to hold everything, and Rain's got himself a second.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, B-site just collapsed. Oh, but Poison through the side of the smoke, getting the better of Rain.
Fix those icons.
He's peeking out, trying to find another one inside of the site before FaZe Clan have a chance to get comfortable, but Kerrigan needs no comfort. He's got the kill. JKS 1v3 to close out the first 15. We were 8-7 at the end of the first half on Nuke before the total blowout in the second side. Complexity gunning for 9. JKS denying info from the temple. trying to push in for this defuse, but it's just not on his side. He's being pulled so thin, and now the health so low. A desperate stick at the 5-second mark means he just doesn't have this. Faze will keep this as close as can be, and as they swap to the CT side of their map pick, they'll look to extend this series. Twists. And when you calculate the impact of that in the following round as well, it was a huge moment. Honestly, one of the biggest pop-offs from FaZe's T side. So now that they swapped to the defense, let's see why they picked Ancient. They trail by 1, both in round count and map count.
I feel like Complexity are going to struggle really hard on this half. Not because Faze should power up a lot, CT side. Half is already so close.
This is fast.
Let's see what happens. If they've got any ideas for how to survive, you know, the artillery barrage. But with a pistol, light utility, it'll take the edge off for Complexity. They can win it. Still, I think it'll be tough.
Ooh, I like this. Little redirect through red.
2 to help here.
Olaf trying to stop it. Oh, it is Kerrigan to lend a helping hand, but Esatag, 2 headshots from him. Twists activates back sight. Clap back by JKS, and now it's on Brokey. He's got himself 2, 3 peaks, and almost has the 4th. It's into the 1v1 with Rain already through CT spawn, and JKS has no clue where he's coming in from. The timing, it's given away a chance, and Rain disengages. At least slightly enough for the round win.
Dude, he is the absolute priest of the temple. Brokey, he sits up there and knows how to fight with these angles so damn well. This is just beautiful on reaction time alone. Knocking down his first 2 targets and not even breaking a sweat. No crouches coming in for the 3rd. Extraordinary hold. We've seen some, I mean, when they played CT side versus Gambit at Cologne, that was when we saw Brokey light it up on the A site. Rain hold it down in cave. This is literally everyone, I think, is very good on this map right now. Brokey actually doesn't like Ancient, which is actually an interesting thing, considering the amount of clips that we've seen from him.
Oh, well, I don't know if they'll like this one. Really fast A play. Whoa. Mac 10's on the entry. Twist's going to try to counter this with an SMG of his own, and Brokey, deja vu. Same position, better weapon. Drops the bomb outside of the temple and decides to continue forward, but that could be their demise here. The Deagles are deadly. Olaf recovers with 1. But it's Cold Zera, and we know he can clutch. Bomb still on the ground for now. Crossfire set. Patience the name of the game.
Oh, that approach is coming.
Oh, there it is. His chance. Had he snapped into the first one, maybe he turns. They weren't, you know, the most, you know, synergized.
They had a good setup there, though. Because he came out with someone Temple as well, so
yeah.
Didn't overextend.
Yeah.
The one cool thing is, I guess you leave a lot of the players on Complexity alone, and as you mentioned, the clutch factor goes way up for them compared to against a lot of their teams. Well, yeah, T-set will be tough. That pistol round, that could have been the one to break him. That was a very nice setup for them to crunch onto the A side. Even getting the entry there so quickly with JKS rushing in the 2nd round.
This is being held, but to no avail. And as quick as he pushes, he falls away. Rain then instead finding another head.
And yeah, shout out to Rain for all the little smoke plays, little things that he looks through on both halves. And CD side, definitely even more potent. You'll see more of it as he plays here alone by himself a lot.
Oh, that's huge. That's a bomb plant.
Wait, yeah, that is an open site.
Oh, but he dropped the ball. Oh, let's go!
Wait up.
Desert Eagle kills from all 3 of the remaining players, and because Blame didn't plant bomb, he decided to go that much further. Now he actually doubles back.
Oh my god, if they go through caves together, they can actually subvert the defense, but even just pushing anything, they know they've got 2 1v1s. So instead of planting, wait.
Sweaty CS.
They get control of this, make sure the push doesn't come through. Also makes sense. They're still open to cave. No one's here to flank them for the moment. And now the spam is... Oh, actually, spam's not fixed on this patch. They just have to come through that angle.
Oh, but if he looks left and tries to flank ramp, then Kerrigan's going to be primed for this one. And as long as he keeps playing busy, then we're going to see Twist. Oh!
He said, "Nah, I'll do it myself."
What is that?
Not bad.
What are those?
That was a very weird mid-round.
God,
I thought for
freaky.
sure they're either going to push through CT to A, take that 1v1, or grab all the way back through mid and fight, you know. But instead they planted with the ability for a CT to be coming through cave or long. And then somehow managed to get themselves timing.
Got him on the fallback. Yeah, I don't
That
know.
would have been interesting routing if, like, you know, Kerrigan's on the left side, and then they flank the long guy, and then they have good after plant spots in the long. So I think, you know, there's some thought that went into it.
Oh, caught on the cross. And then Brokey right back with an op frag of his own. Straight to the 4v4. An exchange of utility to try and slow this down.
Man, you gotta think that these opening kills are gonna catch up to Faze eventually, but it hasn't happened yet.
Walk out into middle. So many corners to clear for JKS. Feels like he just spotted him because he's hyper focused on that angle now.
Oh.
It begins to look away, which could give a chance to Kerrigan. We've got the Faze.
Oh, they got a second player coming up as well.
Oof. And he dodges.
Yeah, he's out. They still got the sniper control, and they know it's an early kill. Like, no rotation has come in to reinforce it at mid.
JKS, oh my god, he's gonna have a field day because now the rotate fully countered. Complexity give chase to Kerrigan through Donut, and well, they're gonna find a 9th round for it.
I thought because they got that, we had Faze get the refrag so early that this was gonna be another round. Complexity get that opening kill, sick tactic, and then, you know, with the boost, and then let the round fall apart, but it doesn't work that way. Nice pick here from Poison, super quick with it, and transitioning into that boost.
This one was, I mean, that is, I think, the round winner.
Yeah. Brokey is still a huge problem, though. I mean, he's having a hell of a map. And he did so much on T side, and CT side, I think, is even where he's better, honestly. So we'll see what happens. 3 guns up, and the money for there's tons of stress on the economy of FaZe Clan. So saving these 2 rifles, or this rifle and Opper, is pivotal. But it might not even necessitate a win. I don't think they can buy too much behind it. I see an MP9 coming through. They're going to try to make this work. Sometimes it is cursed when you've got that off and you really want to protect it.
Yeah.
But this is Complexity's way back into the game. I think this is where it's got to be the Brokey show. You know, he's fast right now, lightning quick.
22 and 13. 3 teammates on 10. But no real right-hand man for Brokey. Coldzera tucked very quickly. Kerrigan's gonna come clear this, but weapon superiority. Tough luck for Kerrigan. Now they're gonna have a split defense, 2 players per site. God, some ratty angles on this map.
This is crazy. Yeah, the way that everyone's playing so far back on the T side. It's a smart move. I mean,
Of course.
avoid that unconfirmed damage early on.
Do what you gotta.
Take it from there.
They go ahead and
Outpost here for Cold.
pull one off of B site.
And it's just so much pressure because people love to retake the ramp, especially in 4v5s.
I feel like Brokey's already in a position where odds are he can survive if things go south on B.
Yeah, but he also is the A player. So if they even get a whiff of this, then avoiding him is going to be a no-brainer. This is where I think Brokey needed to be kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
But with losing this opening kill, like, you know, it's tough now. Looks like the exact's coming forward.
Rain dropped to 15, no damage the other direction. So Coldzera, very easy for him to run in here. He's got 22 health, but because he's already done that damage versus Rain, it's basically an even fight, and he could just let his other teammates flood beyond him. Smokes begin to go down, and Rain will get the better of at least Cold. Sprays into the pack, doesn't come out with anything extra, and Essetag with the 2K to give Poison the space he needs for this plant. Confirmed round win, and tied game, folks.
Tied
10
game.
apiece.
And maybe 2 more for free. Brokey's going to have this off. They're not buying behind this next round. That was the last chance. Brokey will have to do something miraculous with this op in the next round to pull this back up. But this is complexity way back into the game. Gotta say, this is actually very impressive to be able to look this coordinated on T side, look this fearsome. And even though they lost that pistol because of the Brokey 3K, they lost a couple of rounds, they got the opening kills. That stat doesn't seem to be catching up to them now. They are starting to convert. And it's clear that they put some work into this, even if having very minimal playtime.
I did see a message on the Complexity official Discord. I believe it was from Messioso, now manager of the Cole CS squad, that was saying, you know, we're going to get more practice with coldzera before his first official than we ever did with NATO. And I think that with a lot of the player interviews, we were talking about coldzera also kind of carving out a space for himself and not being, you know, as much of just like a tag along, no offense, as NATO.
Yeah, just because emergency pickup with NATO, and
exactly.
he did his, you know, a great job as a stand-in there.
coldzera was also watching, and I believe, you know, like listening in on the practice time that we also had with NATO. So even though Cold wasn't implemented, he was kind of piecing the picture together himself before being thrown into the equation. And maybe that's why they are exceeding the expectations set for their first official.
Honestly, you can see the work on it. I believe that coldzera really did take a time off, you know, in between a very stressful period of playing on a team that had not the results he was looking for. But he's looking very, very impactful. Round after round, he's in a new interesting spot of be hopping in the game. Oh my God, he actually pulled off like 3 hops to displace the aim and create space.
Oh, the Zeus, not today. Instead, it's Complexity that look electric. An 11th to give them a 1-point lead.
Somewhat of a rough series from Olaf, gotta say it. Struggled a bit on Nuke.
Oof, yes, sir. 5 and 17 at the moment. Yeah. You know, it was a slow start from everybody other than Brokey, but for the most part, other than Olaf, everyone else has kind of gathered some ground. Think back as well, Olaf being that first op pick, kind of getting caught in the depths of the B site. You saw his reaction too, kind of just like, ugh, knowing that he sort of gave that one away.
Yeah. And look, this is another buy where, you know, maybe they don't even want to do this. I feel like I'd want to have Brokey up on an op with full grenades. I'd be very scared of Complexity, consider how slow they regularly play, to try to win a low grenade round in particular. So this is a brave call from Kerrigan.
Also, no A play.
Yeah, no A play. They're taking a risk, which is what you need to do in a position like this. So they're trying to combine, get B control fast, but they already get punished. However, there's another push.
Yep.
I don't know if Rain will come out off this.
Has to be Brokey. He has to go big. He gets the first frag for half of his health, fades away. Now maybe Blame F on space creation goes further, but the thing is he has this bomb, so he's gonna be anchored to the site. He's gonna be tethered to this position. He can't go and clear out the corners. He can't get that deep angle, so instead I feel like Complexity kind of banking on somebody stepping into the scope of Poison for somebody else. Oh, but Blame through the smoke, and then Poison able to catch twists, sure enough. But Rain is the question mark. Rain remains ever present inside this A site. And while they kind of play all around him, he gets that very quick pick into Poison, sprays onto Blame F, and puts himself into the 1v1. The 1v3 attempt, all he needs to do is close versus Cold. And he leaves the bomb site, offering space for the plant.
coldzera knows that he exited this exact route. Whoa, planning open to donut. He's gonna be aware of the flank coming in then, surely.
Well aware. Oh, so well aware, in fact, that he makes it look easy. Shuts down the hopes of Rain, shuts down the hopes of Faze, and continues the lead for Complexity.
Damn, right in the open, just getting business done and making sure to screw up the timing of that flank. And that's Blame just shooting some shots into donut, knowing someone's in there. What a great try. What a great try for sure, but this is, you know, Complexity looking good throughout the rounds. And honestly, I was a little bit worried about the fact that coldzera was literally walking through the other side of the map for most of that exec. And there was obviously no one there. But here we are, Complexity, 12 rounds. Faze on pistols, fully. No armor, no nades.
Not much more buffer. Soon we're looking at Complexity sending Faze down to the lower side of the group. Tag clearing corners quicker than the sniper can. Maybe Brokey up close with the deagle, sprinkles magic on the play. Flashbang's effective both directions. Oh, they all line up! Brokey, tons of damage out of that one. Again, a round they have no business winning, and the likelihood of everybody else rotating in, it should be all predicted from Complexity. They're pulled apart piece by piece. But Brokey, for a moment, Had 3 players on a skewer.
Bro, he did like 900. Obviously, hyperbole, but he did like 300 damage and didn't even kill any. Did he kill someone?
1. Just the guy in front.
Yeah, they went. That was a free shish kebab.
Bullet sponge.
It's a toughie. Nice exec. Got to appreciate Complexity's propensity to go A and to commit to it and not be afraid to take their ecos or anti-ecos there. I think that adds a lot of dimension to their T side, showing they're not scared of that kind of play. A lot of teams just lean into B over and over again.
That's the opening. Is that flat? Poison just kind of comes out pretty quick.
I just didn't expect the op to be there.
Yeah.
They hadn't gone mid a number of times, so I guess it was just a very nice read from Faze to be like, all right, this is the round they do take it, because Brokey could be using his time otherwise, pushing on A where he normally is at, or taking some deep B pick. And it's the double op adjustment, actually, which is a nice look for Faze. I'm sure they wouldn't expect this to be here, so they take the dry peek as the tag grabs that frag. 3 up here for Cole.
And that's a relief for Olaf. Tasked with the secondary op, bottom of the scoreboard, looking to kind of get his ball rolling. He was tagged by that peak as well, but he nails him to the side of ramp. And this should be a very good chance for Faze to immediately extinguish Complexity's fire. It was Faze for the opening 3, Complexity back with 5 straight. And now Complexity on the 3v5. But Olaf, a second chance with the big green to stop this B hit. Has to turn away from the flashbang, eats the additional one, and now he's just being kind of swarmed with utility. So get out, play comfortable.
Yeah, they're all in rotator spots
He gets
now.
replaced by Brokey.
They're all in rotator spots now. I mean, this V area is where they can try to pressure from the CT side behind the smoke, but this plant will go down.
Rain's inside of this. Easy headshot versus the Aussie. Blame F gonna have to be activated, moves forward, tries to push back the front line on the retake, and he's got the cover of Cold. Brokey takes down Cold Zera, and Blame F's reload costs him. His hand's busy as Twist peeks in, but for a second, I've gotta say, props to Complexity for pushing Faze off of the site, for making them so uncomfortable with utility that they even had a chance to plant.
Their protocols have been pretty impressive. I mean, and they are moving at a nice pace. And in that 3-on-5, they just got a site where there were 3 players there, and even they had an op playing aggressively and pushed them all into rotator spots. That is scary for Faze. Moses just peeks off the ramp.
Y'all need a coach?
Damn. I like what we're seeing from Complexity. I thought they would get blown away on this T side. I didn't think that they'd look this good or have it together. I mean, mood-wise, look at the cams. They don't look super happy or anything, but
They don't look comfortable.
they look comfortable. That's good. Comfort breeds complacency, right? That's what Connor always says. There it is. Mosey with the glasses. Get the wig split. Maybe need a wig first, though. All right. Yeah, not a lot of help here for Brokey. That's definitely a talking point. Look, utility damage. Look, I mean, they just look like really good. This is a comfort pick for Faze. But they ain't look comfortable.
No, not yet. Remember that weird part of history where everybody was wearing white powdered wigs? What was that all about?
Yeah, and people were getting earworms.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
because
No.
they'd be in the wigs, and then they go into your brain and eat it from the inside
No.
with a knife and fork.
Gotta be careful when you're in the jungle. Bugs in abundance. Tag just gonna slowly crawl closer to the cheetah room. Flash just got caught on the bottom shelf there, so wouldn't have blinded Rain. You gotta be careful, man. This
Get him out.
this little ramp that Cold's standing on sometimes catches grenades.
True, true.
I don't like that. I don't like it one bit.
Again, the grenade protocol is very nice, super clean, pretty light, and they got him completely out of that spot. No chance to reaggress, and that's, again, a very place that both teams have really wanted to take control of.
Olaf's gonna have to be the guy to stop it all this
Man.
time yet again.
Look at that. He can get smoked out in this spot. But
They just threw one. but it's going to go past him. Oh, no, it doesn't. It does bounce off the walls. That's perfect. Oh, that's so perfect for this play. Now, all of a sudden, the guys on A site, like, you know that panic begins to sink in.
Yeah, it's coming.
But Brokey doesn't panic, and he can't afford to because he just lost his support inside sight. Dives into the cover. Brokey, so quick with that op, at least taking down 2 players. It's not ideal, but considering the pressure he was under, it's something for his teammates to work with. And Olaf, he just won that op duel as Twists looks to trade back against Poison. JKS 1v2, and he's gonna be split here inside of the donut, but he almost threads the needle. So close. It had to be Olaf. It had to be the player who has struggled. It had to be the player who needed to make that desperate call to the A players that he was not there to help.
Nah.
That they were about to get swarmed and he could offer them nothing. So instead of a hold, instead of dropping shots on the op, he needs to clutch. And Olaf comes in big when it absolutely matters.
Yes, tough game from him, but 1 round in the pocket at this point is going to mean the world. That's going to inspire confidence, I think, in the team. It's scary going to Brokey no matter what. They cornered him like a wild animal, but even though that execute was a boa constrictor on the A site with that smoke to get Olaf out, you can always count on Brokey for the combat opping. That'll be an annoying one to have to reconcile for Complexity, considering how well things went at first. Mid-control so early. No one to get them out and read Olaf's position. And now another A attack. Brokey and a teammate both posted up behind a box. Molotov at their feet, waiting it out. The kills come through. Poison does it all by himself.
Can he go one better? Bomb's gonna be planted. Spam shots over top of it. Olaf can't quite nail him. We've got coldzera nowhere to be found at the moment. Late mid lurk. And Rain also delayed, doesn't decide to go through middle. So now coldzera, he transitioned into this like guaranteed post plant. That bomb gonna be planted for the left side donut peak. And that's if the retake even gets close enough for him to be needed. Because right now, Poison is a turret in the back of this bomb site, and Olaf misses his chance to better the counter sniper. coldzera, there's his impact, and they walk away.
Ooh, money, their worst nightmare. Olaf has no money. He's gonna save the op at the very least. They're gonna be hunting hard here. And it looks like he probably will be able to save. Just want to make sure that he holds on to this. 14-12, and Complexity pull off the full A attack. This Molotov, Poison, opping the right side, taking out both targets all alone is what's beautiful about this on the attack after Brokey gets that first frag. They get Brokey, they take a sigh of relief, they get in the post plant, everything goes well. And as you mentioned, Rain doesn't make that play to come through and flank donut, which is the single most important point of contact for the T side post plant. Sick half from Complexity. Clutch factor here from Faze. Amazing plays from Brokey, but that's not enough.
No, sir. Now they're gonna have to call upon that extra X factor. Double MP9. Best way to use them, get up close and personal. But we've seen coldzera tucked into Poly, sitting in this spot in anticipation of these pushes.
This is interesting because now they're both playing on this side of the cave. They can get mollied for sure. But of course, if you're not approaching from mid,
yeah, and if you don't expect a second player either,
yeah, then you're gonna molly the other side. So what will happen now? They've ISO'd one.
Rain has to distract, and oh my god, alongside Twist, they've stopped it. Bomb included, a wide swing around, a smoke grenade down, and they've got bomb in their possession.
Yeah, that was a nice call. They still got it surrounded. The CTs will now start to make moves on all parts of the map, and it's at this point where Complexity have to go another level deep. They know that the bomb is not in their control. What are the CTs going to do to press their advantage?
There's no way Poison can use this op in such a tight space, right? He will snap it onto Twists. Low health for Rain, and he already fell back to the bomb site. So in a way, Faze just relying on stopping plants, offering back the bomb, leaving one player there to do exactly what he did, take one with him.
Man, that was kind of a sick setup there on the CT side. 25 seconds, they're gonna approach into the B side. I don't know if they commit here. Smoke comes down.
Oh, they've got nowhere else to go, so it's either this or save. Peaks come past. Rain able to add one to the tally despite having 9 HP, and they sweep away Complexity. Faze doing what they had to. I said they needed that X factor. They went in with what they had. They had a game plan for this type of a round with this type of a purchase.
Yes.
And they had absolute success inside of Cheetah.
Was saying that there last time Rain was on the right side, they threw the same Molotov and flash combo, and then he got pushed out. They didn't have to see a target. Here they have 2 players on the left, so even though they ISO'd that half, they were ready to defend, and they didn't expect that Molotov to come down. If one molly came down on the left side, that's it. Day's over, and they look like fools. But a very, very smart call from Faze to try to pull out something. Now, that's one opening tactic Complexity aren't going to fall for again. But when the game is this close, you know, if you got a couple more gimmicks, you can definitely pull it over the line. And the money, it's resting on a knife's edge here for Complexity as well. Sick match so far.
Anybody's game.
Yep. Up and play from Poison. And again, I think the real biggest issue is just the amount of help for Faze. Yeah, some good tactics and stuff, but Brokey is just so far ahead of his teammates.
Officially on 30. How much more can he offer us in the waning few rounds of this second map of the series? Rain on a solo mission this time around. Bomb actually heading over towards the depths of B. While we could very well have a couple players facing on the A side, it has done a good enough job of drawing the majority of Faze onto A. Even Olaf starting to leave. Hell, even Rain is departing the B site. This is a hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, they're going to punish so hard. We'll see. Rain's making his move back. He's aware. In a position to have impact, but if they're going to let the smokes go down, let's see if the swing comes out.
Oh, it's about timing on a spot like this.
They might forget about him. We'll see. Yes,
Oh,
opened
he
up.
stopped bomb. Cold's up close. Rain, he's got 3. A solo B hold from Rain. Poison falls to Twists, and this round falls at the feet of FaZe Clan, tied at 14 each.
No, not naive, this Rain. He leaves for a moment when all of the rest of his team exits the site. But when that A exec doesn't come down and they take just a bit too long on the ramp, there he is to explode upon them. We'll call him Storm for the rounds. That's a nuts hold, man. This is what it's all about. And if they were more careful, they could have hit that plant.
Not Storm, let's call him Acid Rain.
Okay.
Because not only does he melt the 3 players on site, but all of the money that Complexity would have needed washed away.
Wow. Suddenly it's FaZe's game to lose just like that.
And what's wild as well is think back to the first half where Twists had a similar crazy moment that also led to Complexity not having the money they needed. That was that little bit of a buffer that FaZe were able to piece together in the first 15. And yet again, late portion of the second half, somebody from FaZe steps up. Leaves Complexity in the cold. They got to talk this one over, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, this is all officially about going to OT. No.
And for FaZe, it's about going to map 3.
Yeah. See what they do. FaZe sitting pretty. The clutch is actually unreal. Brokey with a 1v4 earlier on. I mean, the Olaf 1v2 as well. That's just been pure heroics.
Poison lucky to be standing. .40 seconds to spare, and Kerrigan could very well cut off the bomb carrier from the front line of this top mid push. Kerrigan could have also heard the audio cue of a player in A main. Esatag just got tagged by that molly. So I do feel like FaZe are on high alert, but what is this? Complexity able to jump across.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. They got a timing on Twist, didn't they?
Twist has to tuck. Brokey goes down.
No,
Kerrigan
surely
only the
not.
1. Rain's kill's irrelevant. Twist, he needs to stop this.
They need the multi. They go to Donut. Grab the bomb. Do they know about Twist here? Flash comes out. Support from his teammate. Looking for the spray. Coldzera's got a better gun now. No, turns it into 2. 1-on-1 now with Olaf.
I said they left him in the cold. Little did I realize it's in his hands. Full control from Cold, and Olaf needing to step up in a clutch. Coldzera off the box and stopped dead in his tracks.
Needed to get the first bullet headshot. No armor on him, and Olaf wins the round. No way that round gets this close.
Face clad, fully puckered.
Jesus.
Damn. This lineup as well, I thought they were going to have a lineup for twists, but then the player in front swings just wide enough for coldzera to be primed for that one.
Oh my God, what a heart stopper. The number
Yeah.
of clutches being pulled out here, but hey, OT is possible.
Damn.
OT is definitely possible.
With 15 on the line for either team, that's a ridiculous moment. And they're just going to go trudging into the B side. Look at the numbers. They're going for the B rush in round 30. They're going to punish Olaf, and there's nobody here to stop it.
Yo, instantly. It's just about not flubbing this to get the
you
plant
can't.
down. Spray doesn't come through. Doesn't have the angle to put the bullets through. Off by a touch.
Doesn't work like that. This isn't supposed to happen. Complexity with the disrespect. Olaf trying to gather his confidence. In this round, he gets ripped out of it. BlameF has a deep cubby. Molotov on the back lane for JKS to keep this one standing. It's a 4 versus 2 for Complexity to get this into OT. They go back to basics. They return to the simplicity of the B site hit. Brokey looking to nail the coffin, but Complexity extend map 2.
The snap call to hit the B site. It's exactly what they needed. Now, they wish they could have ended it earlier because they had a fantastic T-half despite the consistent X factor that kept coming up from FaZe Clan. Now that we're in OT, I'd much rather lean on the thought that Complexity overall as a team looked a whole lot stronger than FaZe. And feels like FaZe needed to finish it there, but hey, never want to underestimate them. I mean, that's a brave call to make. That's a brave call to make.
Do they run it back?
Wow, they actually are thinking about it, it looks like. I don't know if they're setting up.
FaZe get ahead of
yes,
it. FaZe have a third player here. Brokey's going to be boosted on the back line, I believe.
They're going to have the whole site smoked out. Asatag takes some damage. Will they try to flash with this tactic or not?
Oh, Rain's looking for a nade trajectory. The Molotov's keeping 2 players from
in front of
Complexity
it.
forward, but it works. BlameF! His hand was forced. And Rain needs to disengage as one falls through smoke. No way! Complexity with the disrespect. Rinse and repeat. Run it back. 16-15 to start OT with a sweep of this B site.
That just speaks to their versatility at the moment. The fact that they pull that out 2 times in a row, it's incredibly difficult to read. They had success with it. Yes, they had the extra player in the site, but they had Rain and Cave, which can get smoked out. Plus, the other 2 players are in rotator spots. Once again, the actual site is open, and they saw that they absolutely dumpstered Olaf sitting in the middle of it last time.
I would love to know what was going on between Olaf and Brokey on that back lane, because they looked like they were doubled up. You know, Olaf dying mid-site the previous round is one thing, but
God,
just having no control is another.
They're gonna
and
hear
now
this.
it's just a misdirection.
Oh, they aren't. They're too far away from
It's a
Donut. I
total
don't even think they
misdirection.
know this at all. They're so scared. FaZe bite on this instantly. Kerrigan's behind the smoke. He'll be able to radio his teammates and let them know that the A site has been compromised, but they are about to get a post plant at 1:30, and no CTs are in sight.
This is insanity. Complexity just playing FaZe like a fiddle.
The only reason they're not saving at this point is because it's OT. The retake will attempt to come in. 3 from Donut. Opening kill for the CTs.
Taken right back. Because it was so easy, because it was so free, there's still utility in abundance. Olaf nearly dead, but it is an edge at least for FaZe. Maintained only momentarily. Falls down onto Brokey. And he's got a player in his sights, but he doesn't have the time to defuse bomb, and so Complexity shooting for the flawless half in OT. Will they be stopped on these entries?
There was no one there again. That correct, perfect call. Another rush out the A site. And again, the fact that Complexity are willing to threaten A and believe in their A site hits already speaks volume about their confidence on this T-half. But they've just got to be counting their blessings to have picked another site that has been evacuated from the beginning of the round. They just had a 0% confidence that it was going to be that play, right? That was going to happen. Double reinforced on the B side again. And now just a defaulty rounds. Complexity look to have a clean half in OT.
Who knew it was as simple as returning to the most ancient play in the book? Hold W, rush those bomb sites, play with killer conviction. And for the final round of this OT half, Complexity just gonna sit back, relax. They've earned it.
And now this is a round where they just want to choke them out. You know, this is everyone has to rebuy up. They know that they have a utility advantage. They have complete clarity in terms of the economy in this round. And in situations like that, it feels like this is where Complexity are the strongest. These slow rounds, they're so comfortable in them. We saw Rain in this position last time.
Both
he gets mollied out. Yeah, exactly. This is for free.
Oh, there's so many players
and now
that hit this.
Now they're begging for the rotate, but the thing is that Faze have bid on these rotations too often, and that now they're probably going to feel uncomfortable making that gamble read once again. But Kerrigan is smart enough to try and go get something back, and he does find space at mid.
And luckily, because Kerrigan does it, this should prime Twist to get over to B sooner than later. Twist decides to clear corners, and now with Kerrigan getting caught, Twist is kind of anchored to that top mid spot, because if they do go A, then it's wide for the taking. Instead, it's going to have to fall onto the shoulders of Rain. He lines up a couple bodies, but it's Poison and Essetag, and now Twist needs to be the difference maker, the magic maker. 3 frags, pulls it out, and coldzera picks back bomb, but there's no time for the plant. Faze will have the saving grace of a single round in OT.
Oof. We've got to call that spot Faze, I think, at this point, because whoever stands there has that aura. 3 frags from Twist. 3 frags from Rain just previously. Smirk on Blame F as he just witnesses greatness here. And that's actually not the first time that Twist has done that in that spot, too. What a hold. Man, they had the molly in the pocket. They had the idea of exactly what Rain was doing. Again, protocols are really good, but that X Factor comes through to throw him a lifeline, a floaty in an ocean.
Head above water.
But that water is cold.
And the exhaustion beginning to sink in. They're gonna go rapidly to mid. coldzera finds a blinded Twist. That one is easy. JKS inside of the A site. He has played this spot really well. And I respect JKS for those moments. You give him the smallest space to work with and he can pack a punch. But we'll see if he's even hit in the end. Instead, all of what remains of Faze moves into mid.
No compensation for that frag. Big player down. Mid up here for Faze climb, but no incentive for Complexity to get more curious on the map. Especially sitting in Donut, they'll be able to hear stuff like this. And coldzera's going to let him know that they know. He doesn't care. He just needs to deny the space on A. And then Faze will be worried about the rotation over towards B.
Nice off angle from Essetag. You don't always see people up here.
Tradable though.
And he's got just the one. Rain wide swings on it. Blame F at bat and no real rotate close enough yet to lend a helping hand. Can Blame somehow maintain the cross? Yes, because it's not challenged at all. Bomb goes down thanks to the fact that it came through the maze.
They're going to clear that pillar. There's a lot of info here for the CTs.
coldzera ready to come through a flank. Broky's only going to be able to watch that flank for as long as the site itself goes unchallenged. Good banked grenade, perhaps? No, 0 damage. Just comes up a little short, and the frag's not there. It's 2 back the way of Faze. Now coldzera ever closer, creeping in. And just as Broky turns, coldzera with the backstab. Complexity, lock in 18.
Oh, pressurized. So much timing. It was like they were in an instant pot there. It's like unclear exactly when he needed to break out. Oh my God. Broky was so aware of the potential threat, but on the other side of things, there was JKS drawing just enough attention, and Broky actually swaps out for the AK. It looked like they were going to go for the double peek. That is a heartbreaker. And you know what? As much info as Complexity had, they were slow on the rotates. They were actually slow to take advantage of that information. But you know, coldzera having donuts, hearing them all at mid, them stopping the A play, them getting the opening kill. You think they'd make that move. So maybe there is a way for Faze to outgame them here.
Oh, he's fully blind. Blame F on the reload. Twist's gonna try to chase this, and sure enough, that one's an easy frag back the other direction. We saw Essetag go one and done.
I'm loving this look from coldzera. You know, we talk about complexity and like the style of the blame F lurk, but it almost feels like Cold does it so much better, and he slots in really nicely. Think of the way he smoked off Donut last round. Just kept himself at bay from all of their plays until it was his chance to strike. It's gonna have to be the all-in. Faze with enough utility to get the execute in. It's a double cave stack between Esatag and Poison, priming coldzera to come over on this back lane. Poison playing the pillar, snaps up into Olaf. No trade frag, but they split the smoke, and Twist hits the headshot. coldzera goes down because Twist... Oh, he's crisp. And Rain, he's been slain. Brokey with the bomb back sight. 2v2. Plant confirmed and damage through the smoke. Oh, JKS catches it.
They know where Twist was.
Twist is the reason they got this bomb down. He's the one that made the space, and now he needs to close it. It's on the edge of the box. If the Jiggle Peek comes through, oh, they're trying to time it, and they do. Complexity. They will retake 4-19. They will end this in overtime and shut FaZe Clan down in a 2-0 fashion.